Hey everybody, and welcome back. Man, I've had a few days off, had a few issues and things to do in life. You know how things work out. So I've done that. Hope you guys are enjoying it out there. Yeah, man, oh man. So good to be back, and we're going to have a great show today. Hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to be covering stock market as usual. We'll do a quick run through of that, and then we're going to get into crypto. We're going to talk Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to look at the returns, look at the Bitcoin halving, and where we're at the moment. We're going to look at meme coins, of course. We're going to get into the US election coming up, and then we're going to get into Pulsechain, and then we're going to get into the TitanX Ecosystem, which is taking over Ethereum, and soon we'll go omni-chain and hyperdeflation. Things are really starting to look up for this bull market. So yeah, get excited, get your positions in play because things are starting to run. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Get into the chat there, folks. Get excited. Now we're streaming to over 3 channels, right? Pulsechain X, Superman Crypto, and Hex Token channel, over 10,500 subscribers. So a big shout out to all of you for your support. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button and share the channels around. If you like the daily content, we kind of cover everything. Then get into it, folks. And yeah, let's go. If you got any intel, put it in the chat as well. We'll talk about that if it's looking good. All right, so let's get into it without further ado. Let's say hello to a few people in the house there. DJ and Hex in the house there. Good morning, good morning. Big shout out to you. We got Wookie as well. Wookie is here. Is he actually saying something good? Wookie is flipping out in the Matrix. Nice one there, Wookie. Did you actually participate in the old Morpheus there? Did you? Did you take the did you follow the white rabbit? The white rabbit. DragonX is on the rise. Yes, it is. I noticed that. Just saw that before the live stream. So that's doing pretty well. The X Factor. Like the little green circle there. What else there? We got Wookiees with the rabbits. Yeah, I like the rabbits there. Looking pretty good. We got Gal in the house there. Yo, yo, yo. Can see a Gal. And we got Hex Hog in the house there. Woohoo! Yeah, get excited. These things are really starting to get exciting. Very, very exciting indeed. Now, Brian's in the house there, our community leader. Big shout out to you, Brian. And, of course, Brian out there. Man, we watched a little video with Brian and his brother. Man, that was such a fun video, Brian. We all really enjoyed that and talked about it afterwards after you got offline. So, big shout out to you, Brian. And good moves going on there. Yes, indeed. You're in a Matrix. You're in the Matrix, or you're in the Morpheus. I think you're in the Morpheus. Brendan says, "Do we take the red pill or the blue pill?" You have to decide, Brendan. Only you can make that choice. Just like Neo, only you can do it. Only you can do it. All right, let's get it without further ado. Let's get into the show, and we're going to cover off the stock market first. We're going to cover everything, man. You're going to be fully informed by the time we finish this. If you're not already, let's go. Bam. All right, so the stock market there. S&P 500 climbs ahead of a busy week for data and big tech earnings in play as well. So it's going to be a very bullish week leading into the US election. So it's pretty cool. We got the Dow Jones up a 0.65%. That is 273 points to 42,387. Remember, we're in record territory, right? So if we go to the max chart on here, we can see the max chart. We're in record territory. Look at this thing, man. But it's exciting times for us. We're in the best performing asset class, right? Crypto, and that's still yet to have the big vertical hyper run. And we're on the doorstep of it. It's kind of happening now. It's kind of like the rope is slipping through your hands. It's kind of like that. We got S&P 500 up just over 0.25%, 15 points to 5,823. You can see that's record all-time highs as well. I mean, this is insane. NASDAQ as well is up just over 0.25%, 50 points to 18,568. You can see on the chart that that's also on records. We are pushing record after record after record, and it's fun to be here, man. This is fun. This is the magic money. Magic money is coming, and man, all you have to do, as I say in Strategy Club, all you have to do is sell before the top. That's it. That's all you have to do. All right, so let's jump down. The US dollar index at the moment is up slightly at a 104.18. Now, we're expecting that to devalue. It hasn't devalued. Still staying strong there, I guess, with all the geopolitical risks and other things going on. So that is where we are with the US dollar. Let's go commodities. West Texas, $68, and Brent oil, $71. Not too bad. If we look at that, it's not too bad given the fact we got two big geopolitical wars plus another 50 skirmishes around the world. And some of those skirmishes are pretty rough. North Africa, man, there's lots of bad things happening over there, other places. So given that, we're actually doing pretty well. As long as it's not in the trades routes, right? So as long as they're protected. We got gold at the moment is at $2,753. And you can see let's have a look at gold on the chart. And there we go. Look at that, all-time high for gold. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hot dog. Man, it's just about everything you look at is gold, literally, in this case. And we got silver there as well. Silver at $33.80. Now, that's got a long way to go to get the all-time high, but it is moving up pretty strongly. we are suggesting if we do get a US dollar devaluation in the new year, then we could particularly hit $75 to $125 for silver. So keep that in mind. That is where we are. Now we've got a big amount of data coming up for the big techs. We've got Alphabet, Meta Platforms, Microsoft, and Amazon coming up. So that's going to be a big week for the news as well. And we also got some employment data and a GDP data coming up. So those are kind of things, as well as US election and geopolitical risks out there as well. So there's a lot and stuff happening right now in the markets. And that leads us on into crypto. So let's go to crypto. Who else has jumped in here? We've got a couple comments here. Red or dead, says Brian. Red or dead. Wookie is hungry as he ate both. Well, you're going to be like in and out of the matrix. Like I don't know how that's going to work. Gals in the house, there is TitanX from ETH on Pulse deflationary too. There's TitanX from ETH on Pulse. Well, ultimately, yeah, because it's just bridged over tokens. So they lock them in one side of the bridge and they issue it on another side with a new contract. So yeah. What else we got going? We got up and up, says Wookie. Absolutely. And yeah, go for golden for sure. 100%. All right, let's get into it. Look at us, man. Green across the board. We just hit 70K live on the show. That just happened. We just hit 70K. Bitcoin up 2.65%. Bitcoin dominant, still dominant though. So we're not there at the full-on altcoin season. Bitcoin's still very dominant, 57%. That's been increasing. But once altcoin season kicks in, man, it's going to be some insane mad gains. Ethereum there at the moment up 1.9% at $2,568. Everything's pretty much green across the board. XRP up as well. ADA up. BNB up 1.9%. So nice little day for BNB. Yeah, ADA up 0.75%. That's kind of where we are at the moment on those. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Have a zoom in on that on the chart. This is our chart we've been looking at. So everything's looking pretty good here. As you can see, we've sort of been trading sideways, just slightly down, but looking very good for a big breakout to the upside. And we've got October. Look at October. This is the yellow line, right? Yellow line. We're just about at the end. We've only got a couple of days left. And we're breaking out up here. Look at that. Woohoo! Isn't that cool? That's cool. And then the US election's coming up on the 5th. So very exciting times here. Now let's go to our long-term view, right? Our long-term view. Actually, before we get to long-term view, let's see how we are performing for October at the moment. And let's have a look at Bitcoin returns history. We can see that October is a 10.34%. We started at negative 1.2. We're up 10.34% for the month of October, bullish. And last year we did 28.5%. We're expecting, honestly, a very good run into Christmas. Probably that 90 to 100K Bitcoin definitely on the cards. It's got to be probably well in favor of that. And of course, I think the critical point is actually going to be continued momentum in the markets, stock market, crypto market, and of course, the fact that we're in October. It's generally a positive period anyway. And in the US election, we get Trump wins. It's game on, game on, game on, game on. It is going to be awesome there. It's not just Trump now. Of course, Trump's got the dream team, right? Elon Musk, people like that in there. So was it Vivek in there as well? Really is looking pretty. Was it Tulsi Gabbard? I mean, they got a whole crew there of X-Men, Trump, what they call Trump X-Men. Yeah, it's looking pretty, and woman, of course, but in there. So that's pretty cool. That's where we are. We just hit 70K. It's game on. Looking pretty good. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin halving chart. As you guys know, let's get rid of that thing. But you can see the green lines are the Bitcoin halvings. And here we are coming out of the 2024 Bitcoin halving. And look at that. We're starting to get the upside. Look, so if we go back to 2020, we can sort of see we were zigzagging up and down here. And then we ran. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that big rally there. That's the big bull market. And we're getting so close. We're on the doorstep of this big rally. And this is the same thing back 2016. Look at that. So we slowly rid up 2016, and then it was up and away, and of course into 2017. Everyone remembers that, right? $1,000 Bitcoin up to $20,000 Bitcoin, and now we're looking at some big stuff. Now we have got some different things. You know, history rhymes. We've got some different things this time. This time we've got the Bitcoin ETFs. We've got the Ethereum ETFs, right? So they're going to add extra fuel. So we'll probably do better potentially leading into 2025. We may have a double top too, not just peak out in March. So I think that's pretty cool. And then maybe into the third quarter of the year 25. So especially if Trump wins there. If not, you know, we're doom and gloom because, you know, you're going to have globalists and communists running the world, the West, and they're already, you know, trying to destroy it at the moment. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's have a look at the long-term view for Bitcoin. And actually, I'm on Ethereum there. Let's go Bitcoin here and have a look at the long-term little play out. So looking at 4-year cycles or so, 820 days, 870 day cycles, we're well through that now. And this is kind of where we could be in the Christmas time, this 90-100K, maybe into March or April, somewhere like that. We could be getting up to this 150, 180K that a lot of analysts have been calling, right? So that's kind of where the push is. And then maybe later in the year, maybe this third quarter, maybe somewhere in here, we get into, we possibly hit that 240 mark and then peak out about there. That could be where we go there. We know Richard Hart is called out for 240. Other commentators are called out around 250 as well. So that's kind of the slew where we might be. But certainly feeling very good about the 90-100K by Christmas, 150, 180 into the end of the first quarter next year, calendar year. So that's looking really, really exciting. So everything looking pretty good. 70K live on screen, so looking good. Let's go back to the Ethereum. Ethereum, of course, lagging behind there. Altcoin season not in play yet, but Bitcoin dominance still dominating, but very close. We're getting up to that point between the Ethereum and Bitcoin ratio where Bitcoin's almost about to taper out, and then we get into altcoin season, relatively speaking, between those two. So we're getting close, and at the moment we got Ethereum at $2,567. Hey, look, and let's be frank, it looks like TitanX is dominating Ethereum, and with DeFi 3.0, it's really starting to take over Ethereum, and of course it's going to go omni-chain. So a lot of people are still not aware, still relatively small community, 18,000 or so. So a long way to go there in terms of wallets, addresses, and we're talking hundreds of thousands to millions. Definitely plausible, hundreds of thousands for sure. Obviously takes time to get that momentum, that snowball effect, but it's starting to grow, right? So they're getting, maybe 0.5% gain in users, starting to get up to 1%, 2%, 3%, starting to really get that snowballing effect going on there. So this is where we are at the moment on the Ethereum, which is currently sitting just above the 200-day, the 50-day, which is at $2,555. We're currently at $2,567. So we've had 3 good days in a row there. But we're still in this death cross, right? Unlike Bitcoin, which is looking good, and the golden cross, we're still in this death cross here. And so we need a reversal there. US election may very quickly get us there. What I suspect we're going to see if we get a positive result from the US election is that we're going to get some big giant green candles in Ethereum. I think that's probably what's going to happen there. Crypto turns around very fast when we start moving into that bull mode, right? And we're already in, I think, fairly good conditions at the moment. So things are really going to ramp up there. All right, let's go into the meme coins. We got Dogecoin, man, 23.5 billion. Man, this has gone up fast, isn't it? I remember when it was down like 9.5 billion. Now it's back at 23.5. So some pretty good money there if you're just sitting it. And of course, Dodge, was it Department of Government Efficiency? That's what Elon Musk is going to run, right? The Department of Government Efficiency. That's playing there and looking good. Let's see what else is going. The other top leaders are pretty down for the week. We've got Popcat on Solana up 22% for the week, 1% today, sitting at 1.5 billion. What else is looking interesting here? We got a bit of move on Floki today, but still down for the week, including Brett on Base Chain. We got SPX up 16% at 840 billion, 4% today, so still moving there on the SPX. Some of these other ones are down. We got Goat there, so Goat's coming to the mix. I haven't actually checked this one out. Ghostius Maximus or Goat there, up 42%. 600 billion there. What else? Scrolling down here. Now, our favorite one, of course, the one we're picking for the win in Strategy Club is Dog on Runes on Bitcoin. It is currently down 3.7%, just below half a penny at the moment. And this is a good pickup, 490 billion. They're waiting for a tier 1 exchange. Once that starts to happen, it's going to 100 times the liquidity and potential demand. And of course, this thing could really fly. It is the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin for, of course, this big cycle coming ahead. And if we have Bitcoin hitting 90 to 100K, 150, 180K, this dog is going to really shine. We could see a massive re-rate with the tier 1 exchanges once it gets it. Remember, a lot of these other ones have got tier 1 exchanges already. So we could see a massive re-rate. Will Dog on Runes Protocol on Bitcoin be able to take out Dodge during the bull market cycle? It's going to be a massive re-rate for that. And could it potentially get to become the first $100 billion meme coin? We're looking forward to that. So there's some pretty ambitious things there. I know Leonidas from Dog is really trying to make that happen. All right, so let's jump over to the overall market cap for crypto, 2.37 trillion. So still tiny market in the world, right? We've got 86 billion in 24-hour volume. I think the world's economy is income for the world economy is about 110 trillion. So put that in context, we're about 2%, 3% probably 2% of the world's economy in terms of crypto. So it's still a very small market. And of course, if you guys know derivatives, they're not just in trillions, they're in quintillions or something like that. It's a couple of quintillion, I think. That's just where we are in the market. It's very tiny, so we've got a lot of room to go to the upside and start maybe hitting $1 million Bitcoin. And of course, imagine the altcoins with the $1 million Bitcoin or $10 million Bitcoin. It's really going to be fun to see. Now, obviously, it's all about time frames and market cycles, but that's kind of where we are at the moment. So looking pretty good. That leads us into the US election. Trump is now winning the national popular vote. He is now up plus 0.2%. So he's taken it away from a crazy communist globalist Kamala, and things are looking pretty good. 0.2%. So nice there. We've got Rasmussen report, which is probably the most reasonable objective report out of all these. Got Trump a +1. We got CBS, which is typical left-wing corporate media. They can easily manipulate the polls, and that's what they've been doing. That's up 1 at the moment. We've got Emerson, New York Times, Siena, and CNN all tied at the moment. I just see things are fake news, all these. I think it's clearly in Trump's momentum and leadership there. Wall Street Journal a plus up 3 there, so that's pretty good. And we're seeing some of these papers and stuff like this starting to come out for Trump. We're starting to see some of the CEOs from the left-wing media, which actually are campaigning and shifting Google results, Google searches against Trump, trying to get voters, 15 to 25 million voters, switching over to the Democrats just by manipulating the internet, the web. And of course, that corruption is just they're being able to get away with it, right? Because they've got protection. We'll see how that goes in the future. They really need to get rid of all that so that we can get the truth searches out there and not a rigged election. They're basically rigging an election by doing that. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. We got Forbes, Harris, X had Trump up 2 as well. So that's kind of the play on the national vote there. So Trump taking the lead. We got Arizona. Let's have a look at the battleground states. Arizona at the moment. Let's have a look at that. Trump is up 1.5%. All the latest polls have Trump up as well, a +2, +1, +3 in Arizona. So that's good news. And of course, we know that Trump is pro crypto, right? And not just trying to trick and fool people like the Harris leadership there. Pretty good. So let's have a look at Nevada. So we're up on Arizona, nice, and we're up 0.7% on. Sorry, what did I say? Arizona, no, Nevada, sorry. And we've got the only thing that was negative here was this Fabrizio one, a +2. That was positive for Trump, +2, but Harris with Bloomberg up 1 there, and the last couple of ties. So Nevada looking in favor with Trump at the moment. Moving to Wisconsin, which is up in the north there, northeast is it? And we've got Trump up 0.3% at the moment. The last 2. We got USA Today and Emerson both +1 for Trump, so looking pretty good there. And that's a nice turn of events. Let's see how we go there. Now, it's obviously you can get poll results, but you've actually got to get people actually voting, right? So that's the big deal, right? You need to get people actually voting to the voting polls there or mailing in if they've got that option. We got Trump up 0.1% in Michigan. Trump Inside Advantage had Trump up 1%, but look, Quinnipiac up +4 in Harris. I mean, come on, it can't be right. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's jump over there to Pennsylvania, which is really probably the key state, I think, to win. And we got Trump up 0.5% there. And we've had the last 2 polls, Inside Advantage, Emerson, both +1 for Trump. Bloomberg had Harris up +2. But the rest of them you can see have all been Trump. So Pennsylvania looking good for Trump, which is going to probably be the key state there in the battleground states to win. North Carolina, let's jump to that. North Carolina +0.8% for Trump. That's from Marist. We see the last 4 polls are all for Trump in North Carolina, so that's looking pretty good. And let's go to Georgia. Anyone want to sing that famous song, Georgia? That one, if you got a good voice, go for gold. So let's look at Georgia there. A massive lead for Trump, 2.3 points. And of course, we've had everything as pretty much red for Trump, except for Marist, which came in as a tie. So that's kind of where we are. We're actually looking really good for a Trump victory. This is bullish for crypto because Trump is going to get rid of Gary Gensler, gut the SEC, I guess, leadership with that way, stop interfering with markets and making up their own laws. That's for Congress to do, and actually change the guard. And that will probably mean getting rid of a lot of court cases that may include the one against Richard Hart, Pulsechain, Pulsechain, and Hex. That also would mean also giving clarity around regulations and simplifying that, because that we all know that's one of Trump's legacies from his 2016 was simplifying regulation. And we know that Elon Musk wants to get in there with his Department of Governmental Efficiency or Dodge there and cut and simplify regulations as well. So obviously with SpaceX, the Democrat Party in the Harris White House with Biden have been trolling SpaceX and making it difficult. And of course, they'd make that almost impossible moving into if they actually won the White House again, because that way they just control their political foes. And of course, that would be bad for space travel and going to Mars and everything else. That is that is the ambition, or as Elon Musk likes to say, the Federation, right? Just like in Star Trek there. So let's making the Federation real and bring that into reality. So everything looking pretty good, folks. You can see it's just all lining up. The stars are aligning. I'm very excited about it. Hope you are too. The markets are moving green. The election's heading in the right direction. Obviously, cheating is going to be a big issue. Closing down, taking 5 days to do elections that never used to be 5 days, right? They just become 5 days when they're losing, and they have to manipulate the outcome. So that's the kind of play, and then false narratives, So let's see where it all heads. It's going to be fun. All right. So what else we got there? A couple more comments in the chat. Let's jump up the top here. Let's see here. We got Brian says 70K. Woo! Yeah, got to be excited about that. LFG 70K show, says Wookie. It is indeed 70K. Pray for 250. Yeah, 70K, or was it? What was it? The 70K or pray? Yeah, 250. Yeah. So some nice moves there. What's that? If you're gonna pray, why limit to 250K LFG to a nice even million? Such as saying, says Hexhog. Absolutely. Let's see here. What else we got here? LFG. Red pill to 1 million, says Brennan. I like that one. Wouldn't that be cool if you take a pill and suddenly you got $1 million Bitcoin? That'd be pretty cool. What else there? Let's jump in. We've got Valiant in house. Hey, Valiant, good to see you. Greetings and welcome. Then we've got Hexcavator as well. Hey. Hexcavator's here. Never fear. We got, what's it? DJT or Dominate, says Hexcavator. What else? Let's jump through here. It says, Valiant says, I'm concerned about Harris's husband's connections to the volume machines company. Yeah. Honestly, they need to go. All that needs to be done over the manipulations there. And with the worst thing is trucks coming in. Maybe not the worst thing, but one of the bad things is trucks coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning after they've closed the election down. Trump's winning, and then the next day you wake up and suddenly Trump's losing, and you see this big vertical jump in the vote count. And then you see 99, if not 100%, of the votes going to Biden, for example. Those sort of things, which are just ridiculous. Tilly Ferrilli, hey, good to see it's Tilly Ferrilli. Brian says, I would be happy if we got a count in only 5 days. I fear it will be weeks of them trying to wait and for more votes. Yeah, manipulate. Yeah, that's right, exactly what they do. All right, so let's get into Pulsechain and talk about that. In fact, I just realized I hadn't got up the Pulsechain screen, so we'll just get that up. Yeah, we've got quite nice weather now. We've had really bad weather the last couple of days, but sunny today. So sunny green markets and sunny sunshine. It's a lot better to be enjoying for sure. So we're going to get into day 535 on Pulsechain, and we're going to jump into TitanX after that. So we got day 535, Pulsechain at the moment, quadruple 0464, up 5%. Pulsex at quadruple 0261 is up 5.8%. The total burn at the moment is 1,047 billion. 5.2% of the Pulsex supply is now bought up and burned. And of course, the incentive token there, $2.01. It is up 4.7%, and the ratio is at 43,220 pulse per one incentive. The supply, that hasn't been updated. The supply number hasn't been updated for a while. We've got Hex at the moment, 1.2 cents, up almost 10%. Yeah, boy. Now, don't count Hex out. Of course, Hex is going to probably lead the way on the old Pulsechain. And remember, these are the ones that dominate the volume over on Pulsechain too. And we know that DragonX founder, Eric, who's also the founder of Titan Farms, talking about Titan Farms coming to Pulsechain with that new tokenomics model. I think that could be hyper bullish. What's got all the volume? Of course, the Richard Hart tokens. So that's kind of where you might see some Tink incentive for those. So yeah, be competing, of course, with Pulsex and other dexes like 9mm and others. But yeah, hyper bullish on that. That could be huge. Now we got that would mean more protocols coming too on Pulsechain to burn the Tink, just like we're going to be seeing on the old Ethereum chain. So yeah, things are really going to be fun, man. Next 3 to 6 months, it's going to be really, really good. Now we've got EHEX at the moment 2/10 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX still at a modest 1.4 cents. But the fact that we're holding over 1 cent, not only for Pulsechain but for the combined price, is really, really strong after that big move that we had, and we've had a good consolidation period. Now, obviously, we've got the court case coming up on the 31st. So it's in about 2.5 days or so. That's coming up, so that's a big deal. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll see. Do you think we'll see a green candle suddenly pop up on the old Hex or something? That'll be interesting. And of course, remember that on the New Year's Eve, was it on the 2020 for Hex? We saw a big giant candle that day. I remember that. That was pretty fun. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment on the pulse chains. Let's have a look at the gas prices. 392,000 beats, so we're a little bit expensive on the gas at the moment. 0.6 of a penny for a Pulsechain swap. That's kind of where we are at the moment. And the Ethereum is at 8-way. We're still 1,130 times cheaper than Ethereum. Looking at the values, obviously Pulsechain is a full system stake fork of Ethereum. So it's truly battle tested and full DeFi. 48,679 validating the old Pulsechain. Moving to the bridge, we've got $107 million on the bridge, so just floating around in that 105, 115 million on the bottom end of that range at the moment. Obviously, we're looking for this to grow to really get the chain moving, and maybe we might see some of that coming up in the month ahead. Let's go for that. So that's pretty much it on Pulsechain. Let's go to the best performers, stablecoins. We've got Payout at the moment. It's sitting at 2,800 of a penny. Hasn't really moved too far from that range. Up 3.4% today. Let's jump over to the influencer coins on Pulsechain. We've got Ben. That's a Ben Armstrong. That's the V1 copy. This is 25 up 25% today. So a real nice move there. Scuba Steve up 6%. So a little bit of move. Now the one we're looking out for, of course, is DragonX founder Eric is also doing a crash game coming apparently expected by December. So the current price is $12.29 on SolidX, and of course this is founded by Fire Whale, Randy Yalaski's whale friend. So that's kind of where we are. Keep that on your watch list, or maybe a little slight accumulation at the right time. So maybe you got a bit more time for that and seek out other prospects at the moment. But definitely keep that on your watch list. What else we got going? Let's have a look at Jacob's GameFi. Now we know that Morpheus is going to take a bit longer to get launching, but it is coming up there. When we have a show, I'm going to do an update on that. We got an update last night. In fact, let me just do a quick update on Morpheus while I'm here. So apparently, let's see where we got here. So apparently the map update is coming. We are getting closer. Apparently, this is the official from Jacob. All the important parts are now developed and deployed. Apparently, they have the mock. What is finished is the map contract, RNG land claim. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be huge. Remember, this is the first metaverse coming to Pulsechain. Building development, family bank unstaking, land tile operations, staking city developer function, in-game cash yield payout, all city layouts and tile information, all prepaid businesses and family HQs connector feature. They're all complete. Now, what's still to do for the map is 3D building graphics, 30% done. Now, this could take a bit of time because these graphics are pretty good. UI graphics for front end map, 50% done. And of course, the vault suspension feature, RAD spots, and business effectiveness calculations has all got to be coming. So the deposit withdrawal features is a bit more complicated. It's going to a bit more time to do that. So that's going to come after the map update. So the deposit and withdrawal feature, which is part of the exchange, that will be coming after the map update. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So a bit more patience. It looks, hopefully we can get this game launched by December. That'd be very good if we can do that. So originally I had it about November, but it looks like maybe December this time. At the moment, 1/10 of a penny for Morpheus on Pulsechain, and we got 00037 for Morpheus on BNB chain. Remember, it's also going to be launching eventually on Base Chain and Solana as well, unless they decide to change one of those. But that's kind of where we're heading at the moment. Let's go to overall for the old Pulsechain and see where that is before we get into TitanX update. So we've got 14.8 million volume, so we are on the low side still, given that we're on a weekday as well. Typically like to get back up to 25 to 45 million. We're currently at 15, but it's still okay. We're not at the bottom. When we were at the bottom, we were like 5 to 7 million. So that's not too bad. And the transactions, 367,000 transactions. That's actually pretty good. So that's actually a pretty decent number there. Let's have a look at the top performers. We got Hex Orange Address from the Tan Gang. That's up 45%. Mogcoin up 40%. What else is there? Dome Shot up 33% as well. These have been around for 6 or 7 months, these ones. Pepe is up 31%. Pierre is up 31%. A lot of meme coins, right, ruling the roost today. Cookies is up at 30%. And yeah, we got Pulsebot, another project from Jacob, and that is $1.41. That's up 13% as well. Now we're expecting more from Jacob right around the big gaming consolidation. Apparently big news about that, so we'll keep a tabs on that one too. So Pulsebot, BNB bot, and of course that's got some big games there for Pulse Predict. Pulse Predict must be coming up actually. Let's have a quick look at Pulse Predict because that must be coming up to the 60-day. This is a second 60-day extension. So yeah, hopefully we'll get there at the end. But let's have a look at this. How many days to go? Oh, it looks like we just finished, do we? I think we just finished. I think the clock just finished maybe. That 60 days is up, but we've heard nothing about it. So I don't know. Another 30 days is this extension? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's kind of where we are on that one. And then, of course, we come into Algo and Hex. They're doing pretty well, up 11, 12%. We talk about that. UFO, of course, associated PDDC, one of the best performance ecosystems on Pulsechain, up about 9% as well. Launch token is up 9%, but they've launched nothing yet, have they? They've launched anything yet, but apparently got some news coming up. We'll see. And PDC is up 9%, doing pretty well, and then followed by Mafia itself. So Jacob's actually got two projects, Pulsepot and Mafia, that are performing pretty well in the top 20. So nice stuff there. That's the top 20 for today on Pulsechain. So that pretty much leaves it. That's it for Pulsechain. We're going to get into TitanX now. How many minutes are we on now? 31 minutes. We're doing a great time today. Great time. Great time, great taste for McDonald's, which is, have you ever had a McTrump burger? I think they should make a McTrump burger, honestly. I think they do pretty well. He did such a great job on that McDonald's thing, honestly. He looked like $1 million. It was pretty hilarious. All right, so let's jump into some of these other comments. We got Tintop in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see Tintop. Hexavator says, Hexkins, no patience. They do indeed. They've definitely learned patience, that's for sure. Crypto Wally says Pulsepot underperforming. Oracle about to come live. Now waiting for the order. Yeah, very excited about the Oracle coming. So great update there from Crypto Wally. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's get into TitanX, shall we? I got a little video for you guys as well from what I think is my favorite dev, if not the best dev in the TitanX ecosystem. So we're going to talk about that. Let's share, and sharing is caring, as they say. Sharing is caring. So this is the TitanX ecosystem now. Look at all these projects that are live now. Like I said to you, it's going to take over Ethereum and then Omnichain. It's going to be pretty awesome. So basically, Omnichain means that you're only going to have one token on Ethereum, and then it's going to be bridged over to the other chains. You're not creating duplicate supplies on each chain like you see with Zen, for example. So you're not going to have 13 chains of Zen. You're going to have one chain of TitanX, for example, and that's going to be bridged over to other chains. So you only have one supply. So that's going to mean that the main chain gets less supply. So like a supply sync when it goes to other chains, then you get more development on other chains. So it's going to be pretty impressive there from Jake Sharp himself. So kind of cool. X28, bring it on, baby. And of course, then he's got Shogun coming as well. Another hyperdeflationary, going to use all the tokens apparently from the ecosystem that have launched into that. So I'm excited about that too. This thing is just beginning, and the magic is going to make people, if you're in nice and early, if you're in at any time, actually, there's opportunities galore. So looking forward to that. And now that we've got Ethereum, Bitcoin moving up, it's even a stronger system than that. So we've got Morpheus at the moment, just launched. So Morpheus just launched. This is from rags to riches. So Pulsechain developer now, obviously, on Ethereum as well with the TitanX ecosystem. So Morpheus just launched. It's up 116% today. 50 is 2,700 is the price. That's the top performer. The second top performer is Lotus. Now, Lotus is the last one that just performs launch. So Morpheus is on the 28th. Lotus was on the 26th. Now, Morpheus takes TitanX. Lotus takes Vault. And, of course, Vault has been in top performer for at least a month on the Ethereum top list. And, of course, ranked at number 1 many times all the way through to top 10. So very excited about Lotus. Vault, sorry. This is performing very well. 45 cents at the moment. Up 60% for today. So Lotus looking pretty good. Get in there and get some miners if you can. Hit us up in the Strategy Club if you haven't joined. Links to the Strategy Clubs in the video description. Only $35 a month. So really good value to get lots of intel as we're learning, you are learning. And if you're busy, it's very good for you to get this is the key stuff that's coming out. Now we've got the Baby DragonX. We're expecting scales to come out. Haven't heard any update on that in particular. There may have been one on the live stream, but I haven't heard anything on that. It's up 55%. Element 280 is performing like a boss. NFT and people getting those weekly rewards have been very juicy. Already filling up for week 3. amazing. A week 3, so pretty cool, up 90%. And of course, that minting period for those will be running out soon. So you got to get in for that if you want to, participate. DragonX, of course, the king of the hill, as I call it, is up 17% and starting to move. The ratio on that is 13.9, so it's starting to get the ratio back. Remember, it topped out at 27 after we had that big whale candle, and then it came all the way down to 9.5 and also. And here we are at 13.9. So DragonX on the rise. Why? Because of the 369 payout, right? So we're going to get into that in a minute. Helios up 15%, and actually the ratio for Helios is pretty good, 1.47, so it's moved up a little bit as well. Blaze is up 13%, Janus is up 12%, Inferno up 10%, JKEX, the meme coin, up 9%. Hydra DragonX is up 9%. Now, Hydra DragonX, of course, is one of the 2 big leverage players. You got Hyper and on TitanX, you got Hydra there on DragonX, and that is up 9%. Now, the thing with these is that they will have ebbs and flows because of the inflation coming out. Currently, at Hydra at the moment, we're going through an inflationary period for the next couple of days at least. And then, of course, you'll also have that for Hyper coming up as well in about 2 days. So Hyper's going to experience that too shortly. But Hyper is up 7.5% at the moment. AlienX up 5%. Aura Bros, which is the big stablecoin lending. This is going to be a juggernaut in TitanX Ecosystem. And a successful launch will mean that all these tokens will be, at least not all of them, but most of these tokens will be able to be eligible, at least a good amount of them will be eligible to use as collateral and issue stable coins there. So that could be a huge supply sink and add additional demand into the ecosystem as well, as particularly use those coins, maybe rather than stake in the platform, to actually buy stuff in the TitanX ecosystem. So kind of cool. TitanX itself, the medium of exchange, is up 2.8%. We've seen nothing yet for TitanX, but hyperinflationary call from Jake Sharp is the 8th of November. And of course, that's the last 400 billion candle coming out. There is really virtually nothing significant in inflation coming out for TitanX, and therefore we will probably see just a continual net burning or disappearance of TitanX, either in LPs or staked or whatever after that. And of course, we've got the 369 payout coming very shortly. LegionX, another NFT project doing well or doing modestly well there, is at up 0.25%. That might have a bigger day coming up because the ratio has dropped a lot for LegionX, but that might be something to keep a lookout for on the watch list. And of course, Volt here is down at the moment 1.7%. Let's look at the ratio at the moment, 52,680. So it's just come off a little bit today. Probably people going into Morpheus or something like that. Those sort of moves go on whenever a new project launches. We get a bit of reshuffling. But Volt is looking incredible for the vision ahead. We're going to talk about that. We've got a video for that one. Tink Token, $1.84, holding up nice. And of course, we see with Tink Token, where Eric's talking about getting more projects now, instead of contributing to the Vault on DragonX, to now switch to TitanX and to the Titan farms and start burning Tink, which is the smart move. Obviously, there's a lot of fees being earned from the liquidity. Controls like 85% of the tokens there in terms of liquidity, but just ramping that up with second layer protocols. You got to love this ecosystem in TitanX. Flux is down 4% today, and Pulsar is down 10%. Now, we're looking for some. Pulsar will probably have it stay in the sun when the arbitrage really starts moving and other things happen in the ecosystem. But for the time being, that is down 10% and at the bottom of the list. So look at that. Wow. What I got here, 21 on the list. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. And of course, Morpheus is the latest to launch. So let's have a quick look at Morpheus. Morpheus has got some interesting features. Let's go to the 15-minute charts. It's only been launched for a little while. That's a 15-minute. So had a big rally at the beginning, as usual. Got 57,000 with 5 zeros. Then came all the way down to 2,000 with 5 zeros. Now back at 2,700 with 5 zeros. So it's kind of where we are at the moment. Obviously, it's better to go and mint this stuff. So let's go to the Titan Hub, and we can see where we are at. The big event coming up, of course, we just had Morpheus and Lotus projects launch, but the next big one, of course, is the 369 payout. Look at that thing. 1 day and 7 hours to go until that money gets paid out. It's Ethereum on TitanX to stakers, and it's a huge amount of money, so we're going to go check that out now. And, of course, we're expecting hyperinflation for TitanX as well to kick in by the 8th. So very exciting. Let's go to the stats. We've got just under 43 trillion in liquid, which is 20.41% of the supply. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. So 43 trillion. It was lower today, but obviously we've had some stuff come out there. And we've got BOT is at 50.7 trillion in the BOTs. These are the second layer, third, fourth layer projects in the ecosystem. Kind of cool. All right. So that is that. The buy and burn for V2. is down at 42,000. It's just about gone. V2 is just about empty. We got 16 ETH in there. It's enough for one day. No, enough for one day. So we're getting there. How long we got to 369? Well, we've got 1 day and 7 hours. So I don't know. That's pretty good timing, isn't it? You got to, hats off to Jake Sharp for that. V1, of course, has still got $11.5 million, 4,500 ETH in there. So that's kind of cool. What's the mining for TitanX? Well, if the price does break out, this is currently negative 27%. I think we got recently down to as low as negative 2 to 3%. And of course, once this gets positive, no doubt people will start mining even back in the TitanX, even though there are better ROIs in Hyper and Hydra. So that's going to be fun to see on that. But pretty awesome. But the big deal coming in, of course, just over a day and 7 hours is the 369 payout. $6.4 million in Ethereum. Obviously, if Ethereum rallies, this becomes more valuable, not only for this payout, but also for the buying bins that are operating in the TitanX ecosystem. They get more powerful, right? We got 2,500 ETH in that pool there as well. So that's about to get paid out. Now, we know about 44% of that's going to go to Dragon and Helios. And, of course, that is for Dragon in particular. Helios, they're going to have to buy TitanX up in the market. So it's going to put more buy pressure on the old TitanX, right? So more buy pressure on this TitanX chart here. And that's good to see, right? Millions of, at least a million and maybe $1.2 million coming from Dragon. Going to be forced buyers of TitanX. The other one thing we're going to see also is the other money, the money that's not in DragonX. I suspect we've got a lot of long-term holders. They know how bullish this ecosystem is. Look at this ecosystem. It is hyper bullish. And TitanX is about to go hyper deflationary. And of course, the DeFi is evolving with Titan Farms coming in play, and Ouroboros in play. Element 280, big buyer and burning. That's pretty exciting. Now we've got 20 projects coming up in the lineup, and we've got way more than this. So this system is heating up. We've got X28 coming. That's Omnichain. It's going to be so bullish in this ecosystem. The user count is growing. We're up to 18,220 holders now, doing 10 million in system volume, probably 12 million if you include another ETH pool there. And we're sitting at 300 million market cap. So this thing is starting to grind. And of course, we see that on the ecosystem. It's really starting to take over Ethereum, which is pretty cool. So let's quickly go to Ethereum, have a look at the leaderboard here. So we can see at the moment, this is let me just see which one I've got here. Let me just go, sorry, I'm supposed to be on Ethereum. What happened there? Solana. So let's go Ethereum here. We got Volt sitting at number 3 top ranked. So it's always getting free advertising. And of course, it's there all the time, whereas a lot of these other ones just pop up and they disappear. So Volt's sitting up there. We got Lotus at number 4. So 3 and 4, you can see that TitanX is taking over the Ethereum chain. It is a huge deal. So really excited to see that. What else we got going there? Volt at number 7, Lotus at number 10. So we've got double pairs there. Got another pair for Lotus there, 15. So really dominating on that one. We've got DragonX down at number 32. So you can see more and more projects are starting to really take over the Ethereum blockchain, and that means more money is going to come in, right? It's just a function of that. We got TitanX at number 42. So things are really starting to shape up. We're getting more and more projects in the top 30. It is exciting, and probably going to start dominating the top 10 is my guess over time, in a very short space of time with that too. So really fun stuff happening over on the TitanX. So let's jump over to the rest of the chains. So that's kind of the play on that one. That's TitanX looking pretty good. Let's put the overlays of what we've got coming up in the future. So with that, we've got the big buying coming in with the TitanX payout ETH. I suspect that the retail book will probably invest a lot of money back in as well, unlike what we saw in January earlier this year. I think we'll see a lot of the retail book reinvest back in the system, so that's bullish too. And the DragonXs and Helios have kind of forced to through the contract, so that's kind of bullish too. It's also going to burn off DragonX itself, right? 44.5% is going to go to do that, so pretty cool. It's getting about $2.7 million, and 44.5% is going to burn DragonX. It's bullish for DragonX, and that's why we're seeing a bit of move in DragonX today. And then, of course, which is over here, sitting at number 5 today. So nice little rally in that. Let's have a quick look at DragonX. Well, we're here, the king of the hill, as I say. So the price is up at quadruple 1600, and the ratio TitanX, which is probably more important, is definitely moved up here. Look at that move. And the RSI got plenty of room to move on TitanX, plenty of room to move on USDS. Yeah, down at 56. So good times for the old DragonX there. All right, so let's jump over to the future supply. of the TitanX, which is the medium of exchange. This is the stuff that we're looking to move to hyperinflation by the 8th of November. And we can see over here that we're expecting about, we got 143 billion last day, future mint 147. Looking at tomorrow, we're expecting 353 coming out tomorrow. In fact, that's going to start in about 15 minutes. So we've got that coming out. Then we're going to drop down to a pretty low amount, actually, 195. Jump up to the last big candle, 465. We've got a couple low ones there. Then we've got another 348. And then finally, we've got this last one on the 8th, which is 410, 411 there. And then we just drop off, right? See that? So Jake Sharp's been calling this 8th, the move to hyperinflation, and we'll just be burning off all that supply, the existing supply, which is pretty crazy, 43 trillion. There's not much left to go, right? So very exciting. That's kind of the play there. So cool stuff happening. Let's have a look. Obviously, down on the list here, we've obviously got the last two projects, as I said earlier, Lotus and Morpheus have both launched. Cool front end for Morpheus. Let's go have a quick look at that. The Matrix is here, and we know that we're going to get the Matrix project itself from Mike Dean, the guy who makes the TitanX Hub and all the data. That's going to be building on Hyper, if I remember rightly. So that's kind of cool. Let's jump into that. Everything you need to know about liquidity, scarcity, and power within finance is about to be redefined. So that is kind of the thumbnail video I've got here. Let's quickly check who else has jumped in the chat. We got Valiant says Russell 2000 might be a good indicator to start looking at along with the other stock market. Well, crypto just makes so much more money, Valiant. That's the problem with stock market, but I do agree on the indicators. A very good guide for where things are heading with asset markets. TitanX got math, says Refine. It does indeed. Tino says, quick question from a peanut brain degen. If Morpheus launched today and you don't get to claim your tokens, end of the day, mint, how can it have a price at the moment? Did I miss something? Well, it probably got starting LP there, Tintop, is my guess. What else there? Some here. Double check your contracts for sure. You've got to be careful of scammers. What does Brendan say? The protocol would have allowed for allocation tokens before mint to set up LP. Also, bits can scalp the price. Yep, normally do a small LP for sure. All right, that is that. So let's jump over to, I love the screen. The graphics look great. So some of the key things with this, of course, minting Morpheus with TitanX. This is a rag to riches project. He's got 10% of your TitanX fuels the DragonX vault. So still giving DragonX some love. We've seen majority of projects contribute to DragonX vaults. That means it increases its staking share and get a bigger payout for 369, right? It's going to contribute to that. 10% of your TitanX is used for the community raffle. Now, this is something that we've seen with the Lotus, but this is a bit different. This is the same idea, but different structure, and it's all in the first day. So the first day, you're really encouraged to mint Morpheus the first day because 10% of TitanX is used for the community raffle after the mint phase. So every 100 million TitanX that you spend for the mint inside this protocol is going to give you one entry. If you are one of those lucky, I think it's 10 winners. Yeah, 10 winners will split the 10% of collected TitanX. So basically, imagine 100 people putting 100 million in. 10 people are going to win that 100 million. So also the total amounts of 100. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. 10 winners will split 10% of the collected fees. So there'll be some very happy, cheesy grin people there, especially if you're like a small player and you end up winning a huge amount of money. So that could be huge. So this is very popular, this thing. The first day, really encouraging people to get in on the protocol. Now, 8% is allocated to the Genesis Fund for the continuous ecosystem development. Now, obviously, Rags runs a development company, a bit like what we see with Inferno Group and all that. And so, yeah, 8% is allocated there. So they're going to bring more protocols into the system. So it's kind of cool too. 72% is purchases DragonX. So this is more buying demand for DragonX. So we already had up the top here 10% feeded the vault, but we're going to have 72% purchases DragonX. So Morpheus is paired with DragonX. So that's how it's been played there. So 17% purchases DragonX with 20% of the acquired DragonX burn to drive scarcity. So once it does buy, uses Morpheus to buy, TitanX uses to buy DragonX, it actually burns 20% of the DragonX too to drive scarcity. And of course, Morpheus benefits because it's linked to it through the LP, right? Through the liquidity provision. The rest is used to buy and burn Morpheus. So Morpheus is getting burned as well in a big chunk, giving your tokens a foundation of value and scarcity. So I guess the two highlights here is that you are going to be, chance to win big on the first day. You might be lucky. And of course, the other one there is that 8% is going into the development fund. They're going to continue to develop on Morpheus. And this is kind of led by Rags, who's got his own kind of community, right? So Pulsechain, crypto, TitanX crossover is the way I put it. So kind of cool. The buy and burn, so pretty good. DragonX tokens are used daily to buy Morpheus through the primary liquidity pool. So you're going to see that buy pressure there as well. Obviously, the supply is going to go down. Minting phase, alternative day minting. Minting is open every day, allowing for constant participation. There's going to be a leaderboard which showcases top wallets. And of course, instant claim minted tokens are claimable at the end of each mint day. No waiting for weeks, so you get it at the end of the day. Low cost, of course, to operate there. Liquidity pool, LFT, LP NFTs are locked in the contract, guaranteeing that liquidity remains permanent. Fees from the LP pool earned in Morpheus will be burned permanently. So still got that TitanX ethos there with the burning of fees. All fees are earned in DragonX will be sent to the No Expectations wallet there as well, feeding there. Now, obviously, arbitrage there as minting becomes more expensive. Buying Morpheus on that market could be more cost effective. Take advantage of the price discrepancies. So there's a bit of opportunity there between minting and that. So kind of cool. Let's go to the mint and burn page. We've got Mint Morpheus there. That's where you would connect your wallet and mint. So you put your TitanX in here. You're going to get a certain amount of Morpheus there. Not sure if it actually shows up anything. No, it does. So if you put in, let's say you put in $1,160 or $1 billion TitanX, I think that is, you're going to get 1 million Morpheus from the looks of it. So there we go. Currently worth 2,737. So if you're lucky enough to get that, we'll see what the price is like. What else there? Morpheus cycle 1. So it's kind of cool. The next claimable tells you 17 hours and 50 minutes until you can actually claim the tokens. Obviously, people that get in first are going to be pretty quick on that sell fest. Have a bit of a sell fest on Morpheus, no doubt. Let's see what else we got there. 1 Morpheus equals 1 TitanX equals 1 Morpheus. So the rate starts 1 to 1, but it does decrease, I believe, by was it 4%? I think something like that. So total Morpheus minted so far 638 million. Total Morpheus burned, nothing yet. 45% though will be, I think. We've got total TitanX deposited 638 million. 638 billion TitanX so far has been deposited in the protocol. So that's doing extremely well. That's a very good start to result, given the fact that it's only how many hours in? 6 hours in. 6 hours in, and it's already got 638 billion Morpheus in it. That's impressive. What else we got going on here? Total TitanX burned, already 127 billion burned. That's doing pretty well. DragonX burn not start yet, I guess. Buy and burn balance 409 billion in there for the burn. What are they doing? 85 million TitanXs, 85 million TitanX, I think it is. $99. What else? Let's have a look here. So they've got the last burn clock there. They got the leaderboard. So they talked about people minting. These are the bigger minters at the moment. So 34 million tokens held, I think that is. For the, was it 34 billion? 34 billion tokens held there for the top wallet, etc. So number 10 is 500 million. So I guess that is, that would be 34 billion tokens for number 1. So that is some of the cool stuff. You can actually load more too. Click load more and see if you're on the leaderboard there. And then, of course, every 100 million is going to give you a chance for that 10% lotto win there. They got the contracts, which you can find there, and etc. So that's pretty cool. So that is on TitanX Hub. I'll post the link to that in the chat there. Check it out. So Morpheus. Now, the other big one that launched, of course, on the 26th, which is 2 days earlier, was Lotus. So we're going to have a quick look at that too. And that's doing pretty well there, TitanX Hub. What else do we get in here? We got some comment. Tony says, what do you think about Wild Coast coin on Solana? Yeah, we're not really covering that at the moment on Solana Polygon base. I don't generally cover those chains because they're more gambling chains, but all the best. No one cares about Morpheus. The people want to know about the Wild Coast coins here. I think we're going to have to delete you for that one. I didn't even see it, but you got deleted for that one. Yeah, no need for that, Tony. You got to show your token, but no need to do that. In fact, I'm going to ban you just for that because it's just annoying. Let's go. All right, hide user from the channel. There we go. See you, Tony. All right, that is that. So we haven't banned for someone for a while, but it was pretty rude. All right, so let's get in. So that is Morpheus. Let's jump over to. Let's go over to Lotus and have a quick look at Lotus and see how that's going. on there. So it's the other one that just launched 2 days earlier. This is for Vault, right? So, and a beautiful artwork. This is like king of the hill for artwork, right? So looking really nice. Now let's see here. So summary estimation at the moment. So estimated Lotus at the end of miner, 14,000. So I guess it's got the miner values in there. Market value 7,000. So yeah, really good idea to get into do some of these miners. Once again, not financial advice, but definitely check it out worth doing. They got staking in play as well. You can stake your Lotus. They got the payouts at the moment. So look at those. We got $336,000 in the 8-day. It's 41% through, so still early for that. 48-day there's at 336,000 as well. There's a 280 billion TitanX in both of those pools. The 88-day 240,000, and the bi-weekly payout there 48,000 at the moment on that. So that's pretty exciting to get that. Now this has got the winner feature, just like we talked about with Morpheus, but this is actually ongoing. Every 2 weeks this gets paid out. So the first one paid out at the moment is $48,000. So kind of cool. Winner is picked randomly. It's just one winner. So some winner is going to pick up a huge payday in here. And if you're a small crypto player, that could be a real game changer for you, right? Especially at the beginning of the bull market, could be life changing. All right, so that's kind of cool. The buy and burn is ticking away there. There's 1.3 trillion, over 1.3 trillion TitanX in there, over almost $1.6 million. So looking very, very good. You got to remember this is Lotus built on Vault, and Vault, of course, is dominating as one of the very best projects out there, and it's got a massive, massive roadmap, which we're going to talk about as well. So let's talk about this. Is Morpheus. This is Lotus, sorry, built on top of Vault. It's ticking away there. Let's look at the stats quickly. The artwork, as you can see, is really, really nice. So we've got liquid just under 35 million tokens. We've already had 500,000 staked, and we've had 167,000 burned. So still early days for this. That's kind of the play. And you've got some tools as well. So if you want to use the calculator for mining or staking, you can play around with that. So that is Lotus. Those are the two Lotus projects. Now I just wanted to quickly look at Vault, of course. Vault is doing very, very well. Obviously, we're expecting Dragon to rally on the 369, but Lotus itself is doing pretty well. We're looking at Vault actually. We're going to Vault. So Vault is just modest performer today, but actually is looking pretty good. So we're going to go to the website and have a quick look at Vault. So remember, Lotus was built on Vault. So at the moment, 2,100% ROI. That will probably typically get closed out by the big players. We're at 12.3 billion TitanX at the moment, so it's actually pretty low today. But you watch that as we get closer. It could be a bit of profit in today's auction. We'll see. But typically they do get closed out. Looking at the burn is still really full. So Vault's really secret sauce is having a fixed supply, but also having these perpetual auctions, which keep just filling up the burn pool. And at the moment we've got just under 2.6 trillion. 2.6 trillion TitanX in there. $3 million worth of buying power, and $411,000 of buy pressure today, which doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have a net buying pressure in the day. Like today, we're slightly negative, but generally it's a huge contribution to having a positive buy pressure on the Vault. And of course, we know the Vault vision is going to be massive, right? So pretty exciting there. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Stats at the moment, 27.71% of Vault is burned. Now, I think on Inferno, we've got about 52%, but this has got a perpetual burning at the moment, so it's a bit more aggressive than what we're seeing on Inferno. And the market's also, got better advertising in the top ranks on Ethereum. We've got 27.7% burn. I think that's pretty impressive. 2.1% in Treasury and 70% liquid. But man, the supply is going down. Now, it started off at 1 billion and 55 million. 55 million was for the LP provision. 1 billion was for the 10-day auctions. And now we're in perpetual auctions where it buys off the market and recycles that back through at 20%. So 50% and then 50 to 20%. So that's kind of where we get the top ups. At the moment, we've only got 22 million of Vault in the balance there. Isn't that crazy? But when we get the pillars coming up, they're going to help feed the Vault balance. So that Vault balance is going to get even more funds. The arbitrage and perpetual auctions, they're doing very well on these. So looking pretty good. In fact, let's talk about the Vault vision. We've got a little video from the mad scientist who's arguably, I know he's just a super genius. We've got some really good devs in the TitanX ecosystem. Of the dude out there is doing a great job. Jake Sharp himself, of course, Eric out there, all masters of this ecosystem. We've got, this is just so good. Let's get into it. It's from Stevie D. All right, let's go.
One is the Vault distribution. Phase 2 is the Vault pillars built on TitanX altcoins. Phase 3 is the wheel, which is having TitanX's input and just bringing everything together. And then phase 4 is the staking for Vault. And then I talked to Crypto Kindness and others. I'm thinking of phase 5. I want to bring some sort of utility to TitanX, incorporating Vault. So
you can see this ecosystem is about to explode for Vault. Vault is already tracking, like I say, for a month in the top 10 on Ethereum, if not number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's now got Lotus that's built on top of it that's also tracking right next to it in the top 5. It's pretty amazing. And now you're going to have the pillars coming out on the 8th. You're going to start with Viper, which is connected to DragonX. It is huge. And then you're also going to have up to the pillars where there's going to be at least 11 pillars from memory across all the other protocols, all going to be feeding that perpetual auction on Vault with the buying and burning pressure. Going to be pretty amazing. And then after that, you're going to have the wheel, which is going to then, and the wheel requires TitanX. It doesn't require the other ones. It's going to feed all those 11 pillars, and that's going to be, so you're going to feed Vault. So you got Vault and Lotus, the pillars. You got the wheel coming, and it's going to be massive. You're going to also be in a period where there's hyperdeflation in TitanX, and you got the buy and burn operating for DragonX 369. So you got all that going on, and then you got Ouroboros as well, the lending, taking tokens off the market for collateral, and stablecoin entering in November. So you can see it is a huge amount of pump metals dominating Ethereum, and potentially if we get X28 launching as early as the 8th, when that last 400 billion TitanX candle comes out, this system is going to go ballistic. I mean, we're talking ballistic. This is DeFi 3.0. This is the holy grail of crypto unfolding before our eyes. It is pretty exciting to see where this all goes. Now, so that's kind of the play. And then he's added on more phases. So not just phase 3 of a wheel. We thought that was amazing by the end of November. But we've also got, so we're going to get, Viper pillar, the first pillar out on the 8th. And then potentially maybe all of them on the 16th, or every 3 days we'll get a couple of those 10 other pillars. And then, of course, the wheel towards the end of November, just to get everything just flushing through. This is all the latest DeFi, all from mad scientist Stevie here. And, of course, this is the frontier of crypto DeFi. I mean, it really is the frontier. So you're really involved with some of the special stuff here. The other thing, of course, is he's talking about staking now. If it wasn't good enough for stage 4, staking Vault, well, it's not going to be that much Vault left to stake. So by the time we get there, it's going to be pretty interesting to see that. I'm sure there'll be stuff to staking, but that's going to be huge. Imagine that. And then phase 5 utility, different forms of utility for Vault. That's crazy. Now you got to remember, it's already benefiting from all the other DeFi protocols, Ouroboros, the lending. It's obviously Element 280 with the buy and burns, and of course with Titan Farms. It's already benefiting from all those. So this system is about to just go through the roof on a hyperdeflationary asset, We're about to see magic here in crypto, and you guys are all here early. So if you haven't joined our strategy club, want to find out more, the link is in the video description. Only $35 a month to get involved with that. Really good value for a good intel flow, and we've got some real smart people in there as well. So enjoy yourself, and that link's in the video description. All right, so that's kind of cool from Stevie D. I love that. Really cool. And as we like to say, that's thick game theory. It is thick game theory. Yeah, it is. Lotus is amazing, says X Factor. It is amazing, doing amazing. So yeah, jump on that. Wookie did the Vault auction last night. Oh, well done, Wookie. Well done. I hope you made some nice gains in there. Let us know whether it was arbitrage to zero or not. Oh yeah, there's Wookie's strategy club link if you want to use Wookie's link there. Nice one, Wookie. Coming at the end. All right, so let's get back to it. Bam. All right, so that is where we're at with Vault. So we've got so much happening, and you got to keep up to date with it. It really is exciting. As we say, let's add the future roadmap there with the ones that I know. I'm not sure with Pulse Wars is coming out in early November, but it's still sitting there. That's part of a game, of course, on the TitanX Ecosystem. Scale for Baby DragonX, and of course the snapshot, I guess, for DragonX holders. And that's still expected to come up 5th or 6th of November. Haven't heard any update yet on that one. Obviously, the big deal is the 369 payout. We are just before it. We're finally here. We've waited a long time for 369 days, but we are here now. And then, of course, we can move into November. We've got the Vault Vision playing out, as I said in that video from Stevie. Viper coming out the 8th. And potentially we could have X28 from Jake. That's the earliest I see it. That would be a perfect time there. But maybe we get it at the beginning of December. We shall see. but that's kind of where I feel like X28 might come out, because Jake's talking about hyperinflation, and that was also the end period when he was going to stop streaming. He's been streaming full on, and as well as that 400 billion candle is the final one to come out. We basically got nothing coming out after that. Maybe we get 100 billion one day, but hardly nothing coming out much after that on the 8th of November. So the stars are lining for glory, and then we've got all the other 10 pillars, right? All these other pillars here coming as well, and they're all going to be buying and burning. And with the Nexus technology, we're looking forward to that playing out. That's going to take a couple of days, 4 days to set up, in addition to the actual protocol burning, which is all basically like Vault. So they're all like Vault projects, but then on top of that, they've got the Nexus buy and burn technology, which is the latest. We're going to see how that all operates. And then later on, the Vault wheel coming as well. And then, of course, probably in December, moving into staking for Vault, and who knows, utility as well. This thing is about to get legit. Obviously, we're going to have Ouroboros probably launch. Good chance that launches in November as well. This thing is, like I say, about to go insane in the membrane. So good stuff happening there with this ecosystem. All right, how are we doing for that? Well, an hour and 5 minutes. I think we're almost. Are we done? Are we done? Or do you guys like me talking about TitanX Ecosystem, because it's so much fun to talk about? Morpheus, though, up 160%, just down 47% in the last 6 hours, but still doing pretty well. Lotus up 72%. They're looking like a boss. Yeah, some really high. So DragonX moving up, of course, 18%. Let's have a look at the best on the hourly there. JKX and Mincoin up 9%. Element 280 up 5%. Those rewards on Element 280 have been pretty juicy. Let's have a look at those quickly. While we're here, we've got a few more minutes to spin. So you can still mint out, right? There's only 11 days to go. So remember that. So that's about 10 days after the 369 payout. So the people that get ETH from the 369 can go in, buy TitanX and mint an Element 280 NFT. Maybe get one of these rare or something for $1 billion. Let's have a look at the user vault, see what the payout pool is. Obviously, they've had the first day payout, then the 2 weeks payout. So there's the 3 payouts so far, $706,000 in payouts. And of course, then we've got 288,000 already in here, and in like a day and a half. So this thing is super, super rewarding for those that have got in there, relatively speaking. Let's go look at the stats quickly. Big shout out to the dude, of course, the creator of Alias and Janice, for this wonderful website as well. 5,473 NFT so far. And we can see the burn is 36%, NFT backing 48%. And of course, once people burn the NFTs, once this is finished, they burn them, they're gone for good, right? So you get to share the rewards there by yourself. It's kind of cool. Last man standing, so to speak. Unclaimed 4.8%, NFT rewards 4.1%, liquid is 4.27%, and LPs is 2.7%. That's the distribution. And of course, the total amount of tokens burned looking pretty fierce. Over $5.2 million of elements so far has been burned there. And of course, many other tokens as well from all the other projects. So doing very, very exciting. Going to the buy and burn page. Kind of neat. Let's have a look here. Yeah, those buy and burns are still ticking away. Look at those TitanX. Now, apparently, once this all finishes, it will eventually only be burning Element 280. So once this is all gone, maybe in 12 days or so, apparently it's only going to be burning. All the fees will be burning Element 280. So that could be very bullish for that project. So this is definitely a good one to consider. And you can obviously trade them on Titan Legends as well if you want to do that. So kind of cool. All right, I think that's it. I think we're going to finish up there. I think that's a good place to finish. An hour and 8 minutes. Let's go. Bam. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We got Wookie says 19%. Oh, you made 90%? That's a really good payoff there, actually, Wookie. Well done to you. You were up at that time in the morning? That's crazy. Hey, guys, checking in late. Any news on the PUSD ALGO Sacrifice? Not at this stage, John. Not this stage. So let's quickly pull that up, actually. I haven't got that set up, but that's on another screen. Let me just pull that up quickly. If you guys again, I'm super bullish on it, of course, but we haven't heard any news. Apparently, Q1 next year is probably the earliest we might see that. So just take that into account. So I'm just trying to open this. Actually, I have to open up a separate browser. So let me do that. PUSD Algo, bang, bang, bang. Now, I actually think this is the project that Jacob should have gone with first, but he is building out a massive game. So I mean, hats off for that. It's not easy to do that sort of stuff, and of course, they always take longer than you expect because you add in features and you got challenges to overcome when you're doing leading the world's peer-to-peer crypto casinos and things like that, game fires. So bam, let's have a look. All right, so that is where we are at the moment. So obviously it says 21 days left, but we know it just keeps extending. We're on day 339. Can you believe it? 339 people were waiting for this to launch. Now, we do understand that he's still going to be doing it for the most part. I think that's pretty much done. And we're probably looking at Q1 the earliest. He has to do it through the bull market, though. Can't do it in the bear market. You have to do it in the bull market when people are around, right? When money's being made and people are around. So at the moment, there's $443,709 on the credit. That will include bonuses. Remember, there are 2 bonuses in this. There's a referral bonus, and you can use the one in the video description. It's got 19%, which is pretty much as a second highest you can get. And then secondly, if you do over $1,000 inclusive of that bonus, you will get a second bonus, which could be pretty big. It's called the bonus X, and that's up to 2X. It's a random generated number, so you might get 1.01 to 2X, something like that. And of course, that's the second bonus as well. So you can see this guy here. He got a 1.19% referral bonus. That link is on the video description if you want to use that. And then he got a 1.62 on the bonus X because he did over $1,000 inclusive of that referral bonus there. And so that boosted him up from 10,961 to 17,756 for the sacrifice. And of course, he got this token allocation. There's 3 tokens: Algo, Flex, and Wrap PUSD. And of course, that Wrap PUSD is the reward part of this. For $1 US, you get 20 Algo, 200 Flex, and 0.01 Wrap PUSD. Kind of cool. This is honestly like Terra Luna done right? Terra Luna done right. We know how valuable that got. It could be a killer app, absolute killer app for crypto generally, not just for Pulsechain or other chains. It could be multi-chain. Now I'm speculating. This is pure speculation, but John, we might see this part, built into maybe the casino that he's doing. He's got the big casino consolidation coming. That's expected by the end of the year. And of course, got Pulse Predict, Pulse Pop, BNB Pot, and all that sort of stuff. Apparently, it's going to be going to one big side or something like that. We're not quite sure of the vision, but also may have partners, right? May have big partners lined up. We don't know. But apparently, it's a big deal, says Cult DeFi. And then we also may see Morpheus obviously get to launch. If we can launch that by December, that'd be cool. And so we'll have 2 big project ecosystems launched from Jacob. If that does occur by December, and of course we're well in the run on the bull market by then having this launch, maybe this launch as part of the ecosystem as a mega DeFi, because this is potentially huge, right? So and the problem with liquidity forks is a lot of the stable coins get stuck in the system and they're not moving around, right? They're sitting in the system earning rewards and they're not really putting enough buy pressure on the market. I mean, 3-4% at best. I mean, you're probably looking much more than that. So getting something like this that could actually get out and have that stable coin buying power get out there would be huge. So we're looking forward to that. And obviously it does still have rewards in here. Stability miners obviously enable the DeFi bots. So that's pretty much it. We saw the stablecoin run in testnet on Pulsechain on live, and that would look really, really good. It was making good money and it's very stable. It's more stable than the liquidity forks and even Coast, of course, which has been under peg for quite a while, but still doing pretty well. We've got own pages on here as well. And of course, you're going to be able to earn with that. So very excited about this. And of course, staking page as well. But this could be pretty exciting. And that scalability issue, right? If you've heard the stablecoin trilemma, scalability issue has been the issue with these other fiat-based or liquidity fork-based collateralization. So this could solve that, right, with the scalability. And Terra Luna done right. And so, yeah, very cool. Basically, little limb order bots operating. And of course, keeping that stablecoins stable. And of course, the name of it's fantastic. PUSD, Pulse USD. I mean, it's a fantastic name for Pulsechain. And of course, it would be adding an additional, the 5th stablecoin to the mix, wouldn't it? So we've got 3, one on Pulsechain, one on PulseX, one on Hex. And we've got the Coast one as well. So this would add a 5th. This would probably be a juggernaut, could be absolutely massive. So maybe he integrates it. This is my speculation. Maybe he integrates it into the crypto casinos, maybe integrates it into the Morpheus game, which is going to be the big giant metaverse on multi-chain. So we shall see. But at the moment, the earliest I see this is Q1. We haven't heard much about it, but I have asked Jacob in the last live stream to come on board and do a show on Morpheus questions. Let's see if he comes back to me on that. And if he does, then we'll try and ask him about PUSD status, because obviously we're super bullish about it as well. So you're most welcome, John. All right, we're going to leave it there. Now 15 minutes. It's kind of the max. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. We covered a lot of cool stuff. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you next time. I'll leave the Stevie D video for those that are considering the Vault roadmap. Looks absolutely mega. Stevie has got to be the I don't know if Jacob is the best GameFi developer in the world. Stevie D's got to be the best DeFi developer in the world. You know, it's just amazing the stuff that he's coming up with. Absolutely amazing. So I'll leave it with Stevie. All right, cheers. Bye for now.
Distribution. Phase 2 is the Vault pillars built on TitanX altcoins. Phase 3 is the wheel, which is having TitanX's input and just bringing everything together. And then phase 4 is the staking for Vault. And then I talked to Crypto Kindness and others. I'm thinking of phase 5. I want to bring some sort of utility to TitanX, incorporating Vault.